This time at Vintage Steel Garage, an update on the Porsche and Le Mans, and a drive out in the 58 Apache. Okay, so a bit of a mix mash video this time. I'm not working on anything, doing anything, just thought I'd have a bit of a chat and a walk round. Here we are, on our way to Le Mans, Aston Martin here, Porsche here, lovely French courtyard, lovely French culture, a couple of beers in the bar.
Everybody stands up, on se lève tous, mesdames et messieurs, tout le monde se lève, mesdames et messieurs, voici l'arrivée de la voiture gagnante, la course des 24 heures du Mans, son vainqueur, l'équipage 2018 se succède à lui-même, Toyota gagne les 24 heures du Mans pour la deuxième fois, victoire de Sébastien Buemi, de Fernando Alonso et de Katsu.
Welcome back to Vintage Steel Garage. Here we are, back from Le Mans. Porsche has performed well. Done about a 1500 mile road trip, front suspension's well, steering's well, braking nicely now, gear linkage is a vast improvement, so very pleased with it. It's probably cost me £600 in parts to do all the work. That included, I've got a nice little 24-hour Le Mans logos on, had to do it. So it's cost me about £600 in parts, fully rebuilt the front suspension. We've got the new poly bushes on the front, new inner track rod ends, new outer track rod ends, got the tracking done. What else did we do? Rebuilt the wheel bearings, so we've got the wheel bearings replaced. We took the brake pads apart. They were a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? So where was I before the wife came home, parked on the drive? Right. Rebuilt the front suspension, or polybushed the front suspension. Increase the camber. There's slots on the front which you can vary the camber from about 0 to 0.7 degrees. So I've sorted that out. Got the tracking done. I'll show you the gear linkage. I don't think I showed you that last time. So the gear linkage now, that's in neutral. That's first. And that's second, so it's a huge improvement on the gears. That's first, second, whereas before it was probably coming to about here. So a vast improvement with that, pleased with that. The car performed well. Just need to get it back to normal gear, get the stickers off, give it a wash, clean the wheels, and there we go, all done. The jobs list is considerably shorter. Got to sort out the paint scratch that I did on the wing when I walked past and hit it. That job's going to be on here forever, so we're moving on to work on the 58 Apache with the front suspension, and also finally getting round to the 71 Dart, which is sat for a few months looking sorry for itself. So let's bypass the Porsche that's in bed and take a look at the 58 Apache. Now, I've had this probably 6 years, I'd say, maybe 7 years. Bought it in May 2012, I think. Yes, I think it was. Was it 13? Anyway, I'm not quite sure. So I bought it in May and then decided to go to Le Mans in it in the July for the Classic. So I only had 2 months from importing it from California, San Francisco. Didn't need a lot doing to it. I've actually painted it, believe it or not. It is originally green. If you have a look underneath here, well, that tells you something, doesn't it, when you can't open your own vehicle's bonnet? You've not obviously been working out enough. Right, so it's GMC engine. I know it says Chevrolet on the front, but the actual moustache grille for it is up there in the roof, but it's got a middle bar missing. So instead I put on a Chevrolet grille on the front, but you can see at the back it's a GMC. So what have I done? Well, I've rebuilt the engine, or the top end of the engine, took the cylinder head off, had that rebuilt by a specialist place in Chorley that rebuilds cylinder heads. Obviously they don't really rebuild 58 Apache cylinder heads, so what they did is they're a very good machine shop, proper old school, took it in, I think they put Mercedes Sprinter valves in it, which were the right size for the inlet and the exhaust, shortened them, and then machined the collet grooves. And then for the valve guides, they used Volvo Amazon valve guides, which are fatter and a smaller hole in them, which gave them enough meat that they could then machine them down to suit. So proper specialised machining stuff there, and it wasn't all that expensive. That was about 4 years ago. Carb is a standard carb, standard exhaust. The only thing I've changed different on it is, instead of running, it's running on the points, but it's only using the points to activate the switch. So it's running off an MSD, which is under the dash inside, which I think I've probably shown you on another video where I did actually blow it up. So that's just sitting down there, the MSD for that, which makes a nice little sort of ticking sound while it's running away. So I think what we'll do, we'll go for a drive round, and I'll talk a little bit more while we're driving around in it. So what I thought I'd do, we'd go for a ride in the truck, give you a bit of a chat about it. Not done one of these videos before, so we'll give it a go and see how that performs. This is the gear lever. It's a 3-speed hydromatic gearbox. So if you think of your grease lighting, hydromatic, that's what it is. So it's got neutral, sorry, it's a 4-speed actually, with a lockout in reverse when you stop. So it's got a lockout switch, so you can't start it in reverse. I've lost my keys. Keys are a pain in the backside. What have I done with them? Nice Lamborghini. It is a 4-speed auto, but I like to drive it as a sort of semi-automatic, and that way I can hold it in second gear rather than it just shooting right up to 3rd or 4th gear. So I'm just holding it in second now, well, first. Going to 3rd. And I haven't really had to do anything with the auto. The auto has been great. It shifts great considering it's a 60-year-old automatic. Makes it easier to drive. I've got enough concentration sat on the wrong side of the road. Having said that, I've had left-hand drive vehicles now probably getting on for 10 years, so I'm pretty used to and comfortable to it, whether driving left-hand drive in the UK or in Europe, so it's all quite easy. So it's just in 3rd now. If I go up to 4th, you'll hear it'll just drop straight down, and then as I pull away from the roundabout here, you'll hear it'll just go straight up into 4th. And I'd rather probably just, you don't feel like you've got full control of the vehicle at that point. Here you'll hear it change up. I'm only on the roundabout and I'm up into 4th, so hold it down a gear, keep it down. This of course obviously isn't factory. It actually had snapped off right down here, and when I got it, the gentleman I got it off in France, in California, he'd driven round with just a pair of mole grips on, and to be honest it worked like an anti-theft device, because when he parked it up he took the mole grips off and took them in the house and no one could get it in gear. So it did work alright, and I did think of just leaving them on. And then one day I thought, no, I'm going to France, I want to put a proper gear lever on. What if it falls off? What if it ends up all chewed up, doesn't work? So I got a piece of stainless steel bar. I thought I'll weld it on and then see what length I want to cut it down, probably like to about this point. And I put it on and I put my hand there and I thought, you know what, that is really comfy. Big steering wheel, hand there, change gear, and it's been like that for 5 years. So it wasn't designed like that, it was a bit of a sort of a build it as you go, and I've enjoyed it. Suspension wise, it's leaf springs at the back, solid axle, and leaf springs at the front, so it is a little, should we say, frisky on the road compared to a modern car, and you have to get used to that. You have to be aware that it's going to dance around and shimmy around when it goes over bumps. I've had a few friends drive the car and they can't even drive it a mile. They say, how the heck do you drive this a mile? Never mind 1,500 miles to France. I put the window up, just cut the noise down a bit, hopefully you can still hear me okay. So, as I say, I've got used to driving it now. I've been driving it 6 years. I would probably actually rather drive this than my Land Rover Discovery. It feels more sure-footed than that does, although that's 20 years old and still got nearly 200,000 miles on it. So, I like the old girl. She runs well. 4.3 engine, single camshaft push rod. It only probably develops about 150 brake horsepower. It's not going to set the world on fire, but equally it's got plenty of grunt and will pull easily. It's easy to drive with the auto. I just enjoy it. Interior wise, I've painted the doors, painted the door cards just to tidy it up a little bit. It was in very good condition actually. It's not your usual barn find in America where the paint's completely burnt off. It also, I've built another truck for a friend. It also didn't have the chassis full of soil, rocks and all the rest of it. So I don't think it has spent much of its life on a farm. And I think it, again, maybe being an automatic sort of lends itself to say it was probably more of a road-borne truck than used on a farm with the first gear, granny gear for pulling things up hills. That's my thought anyway. And the bed, well, all the bed, the wood's rotted out on it, but it is actually still there underneath. Someone's put actually a steel layer in it. So if I find somewhere to pull up, I may pull up and do a walk around the car. But I do certainly enjoy. If you're over in the UK, well, if you're in America, you know all about these, and it's a no-brainer. Obviously, in the UK, they are a bit of an unusual sight. They are bigger for the UK road. It's probably more challenging driving on a slight left-hand bend because you're blinded. You can't go around. There's some country roads near me where you can do 60 miles an hour on them, and you're actually driving around completely blind. I live in fear of coming around the corner and seeing the vehicle stop there, and you know, what can you do? You've not got modern brakes. It's not. It does stop well, to be honest. It's got no servo, so you really have to stamp on the brakes. But I haven't found it to a point where I think I really want to install a servo on this, because again, I like the simplicity of it. The auto gearbox, there's no electronics in it. It's all hydraulic. The only thing electrical in it is an inhibitor switch, so you can't start it in reverse. No electric windows. The only thing I've upgraded to is the MSD, 6AL MSD. That made a big difference. Runs a lot smoother with that now. I think it gets a better burn because it's got that twin spark to it, doing that, so you know what I mean. Instead of just one spark, it's multi-spark. It's more than two sparks actually, it's multi-spark, so it'll fire several times under 3,000 RPM. And I'll insert a little video here of a friend of mine testing one where he actually, I think he said he could smell the ozone or something else in the air when he saw the size of the blue spark from it. So I'll show you that little clip.
I'm a bit scared now. Some poo may come out. Oh dear, that is seriously violent.
Well, it's June in the UK here, glorious evening, nice and sunny, not mega hot. Some people out on the bikes in the Lycra, won't catch me doing that. And I'm off for a little trip round. Haven't been in it for a few months. It was nice, to be honest. I've been to Le Mans in this twice now. Or is it 3 times? No, twice. No, actually it is 3 times. I've been there 3 times in this now. Once we just went on our own, and then we've been twice with a friend's truck that I built for him, a C10, 66 C10. So yes, it's been 3 times. So it would have been 4 times this year. However, instead of going to the classic Le Mans, we went to the main Le Mans, and I thought that may just be nicer to actually go in a modern car, in a Porsche, and actually get there in a timely manner. Having said that, we stuck to the A roads and tried to avoid some of the toll roads, and it probably wasn't a lot quicker because we just tootled along. Well, no, we didn't tootle along, we were in Porsches. We did a bit more than tootling. but then we probably stopped a bit longer than we should for a coffee. Whereas when we're in the truck, we tend to tootle, and I mean tootle, like 50 miles an hour, 55 miles an hour, maybe 60 if we're feeling ambitious, but then we don't stop for long. So probably about the same journey time to get to the campsite, maybe an hour shorter. But it's nice to do it in a modern vehicle. I did enjoy the Porsche. The French roads, if you've never been to France and you're familiar with the UK, are just fantastic. They're nice and clear, nice and empty. Not like our roads where there's just cones and traffic everywhere. So you flow along, you just basically get off the ferry, 9 o'clock, roof down, and just drive all the way. Lovely. So a bit like tonight really here. It's a lovely evening, not a lot of traffic on the road, and yeah, quite enjoying it. Maybe the sun could be due to be a little bit higher. That's slightly in my eyes. Other than that, we're doing all right. And then I think maybe what I might do, there's a hot rod meet once a month around here, and I might go down to that in the truck, have the camera on, and show you the UK American hot rod scene and see what you think of that. You'll probably laugh when you only see like 5 or 6, well no, you see about 20 cars turn up, but obviously they're not in the abundance that they are in the US. The sun is really low. Frighteningly low. Can't see a thing. There. Hopefully I'll be changing direction soon, so the sun won't be quite as much in my eyes as it is at the moment. Probably should have cleaned my windscreen as well, that might have made it even better. Let's see if we can slide it around this corner. Yeah, there we go, a bit of sliding. It is a lot of fun driving this. Honestly, it just makes me smile. I've always liked driving, been a petrol head for years. I just find it very therapeutic. My wife likes to read books to chill out. I like to drive. Some people find driving stressful, I don't know how. Well, no, I do know how. If you go driving around London, stop, start, M25, that's stressful. Proper driving, in a nice vehicle you like driving, it's great. One of the other vehicles we have at home is a Mitsubishi Outlander. Now, it's a sort of state-of-the-art vehicle, if you like. Electric, hybrid, everything electric on it, everything you want. It is a nice car to drive, but it is completely detached. You just do not feel attached. You might as well be sat on the sofa with a PlayStation controller in your hand. You just don't get any feedback. You just drive along, don't think anything of it. You don't have to press anything, everything's automatic. It'll phase the engine in and out, the motor's in and out, change gear for you. Electronic gearbox. I would dread it if it breaks, at least if, and that's the other advantage of this. If I go to Le Mans, I can carry a small toolkit, a few spares, and I can probably fix it and get going. If the Outlander stops and on one turn of the key doesn't start, I don't know what I'd do. No idea. So this is just fantastic. I love it. And it's actually also nice. It's like spreading love and joy. You drive down the road and you see kids just point, and they don't actually say anything, and they just point like that. And you can tell because it looks like a toy car, doesn't it? It looks like a toy truck, I should say. Something you've seen in a film. It's not something you're going to see every day around the roads of England. So, yeah, good fun. Good fun. So, what we're going to do now, we've just done a little bit of a round trip round near where I live. Might do a few more miles yet. I think still a few. Another good hour and a half of light. And it basically, this truck, it really has been good. I haven't had any problems with it. With those 3 trips to Le Mans and back, they're a bit tight squeal. It's nothing to do with speed, that. With a little bit of, with the 3 trips to Le Mans, never used any oil, never used any water. Fantastic. And the plan was, when I bought it, I drove with a friend, as it was back then, and we went to Le Mans and we said, what we'll do, we'll have a notepad and we'll write a list of all the things we want to modify. And it was like, yeah, disc brakes, front cross member with springs on, low profile tyres, bigger engine, exhaust, maybe air ride suspension and all the rest of it. And you know what, we drove there and back 1,500 miles and we couldn't think of one thing to change on it. And I'm glad I actually haven't changed anything on it since. Having said that, the only thing I may do is the shackle pins on the springs on the front. There's a bit of wear in those, and I think that's contributing to it dancing around. So I may change that and have a look at that. And that's about it. I modified the steering. That used to have some very old-fashioned ball joints where actually the pin was on the actual steering arm, and then it had 2 cups either side in the steering with springs and shims, and that would move around. Whereas I've taken that off and upgraded it to a modern, what you would call a modern track rod end or a ball joint. So you then have the tapered hole in the steering arm and the ball joint on the steering rack, and that has made a big difference. It means I can drive it. As you can see, I'm doing a little bit of correction as I drive along. I don't even think about it now. But before, I was basically seesawing on the steering wheel. You could probably do half a turn each direction before actually anything happened, and that was a little bit scary. There was the odd time in France on a narrow road with the camber going the wrong way. It throws across into the throws across into the path of an oncoming HGV, and luckily at the right point I managed to steer it back. And that was one of the points where me and a friend, I don't think we spoke for about 5 minutes after that, until one of us said that was scary. And at that point then I thought I needed to upgrade the 2 ball joints, and it was a fairly simple job to do. Bought the kit from America, got them sent over. Oh, there's another interesting American truck over there. I'm not sure what that is. What does that look like? That does look interesting. We'll give them a little flash and say hello. I'm not sure what it is at all, but it's very nice. You're probably going to see him. No, you won't see him come past me in the mirror. Not sure what it was. It could have been like a Packard, 1940s Packard, full patinaed paint. I'll have to look out for that. That was nice. So, everyone's always out for a walk on a nice sunny night after work, isn't it? It's a thing to do. Finish work, get home, have your tea, go for a little drive round. Maybe I should show you some of the roads we've got. I'll pull up, I'll do a bit of forward action. I said it wrong. Right, here we go, a little bit of forward camera action. I like how you just, bloody cyclists, honestly, you can't see him. Bloody cyclists just went through a red light. Why do they think they can get through a red light? Very annoying. Be first to complain, wouldn't he? Probably got in his way. smiley face, doing the right speed down the camera, that was good. Anyway, thanks for watching. Be back soon.